Sivaya Nama Tiruchitrambalam. Welcome back to our discussion on Thiruppaatu, which is the 7th Thirumurai. In that, we are continuing our discussion on this place called Thirunai Nagar. According to the historical sequence, this is the 4th Thirumurai, 4th Thirupadigam, and today's discussion is on the 5th song or the 5th verse. ஒன்றலா உயிர் வாழ்க்கையை நினைந்திட்டு udal தளர்ந்து அருமா நிதி yiyatri endrum vaazhalaam emaku என pesum ithuvum yenavey ninai ulamey kundru ulaaviya puyam udaiyaanai koothanai kulavi kuvalayathor elaam payil Thiruthinai Nagarul சிவக்கொழுந்தினை சென்றடை மனனே. This is a very interesting verse. In this he says, in fact this particular verse is written during the almost in the 9th century, 7th or later by 8th century or the early 9th century was a period of this particular padigam. But if you look at it, even in the 21st century as of now, this particular verse stands very good. What is happening with our life is, which is an interesting factor also, we are running behind our money. We are working so hard. We are trying to do whatever it takes to earn money. How are we doing that? Sometimes even we are compromising our food. How many of us are having our breakfast early in the morning? Very few. But we all know breakfast is absolutely essential for our body. But we skip our breakfast. How about lunch? We don't have time. So we are just going for some kind of fast foods. We all know fast foods are unhealthy in nature, yet we are going behind that. Why are we doing that? It is because of our work schedule. The interesting factor here is we are all working just for this food. Imagine if a human being is not getting hunger, do you think we will be bothered to do our work? Right? So that's a fundamental element. We are hungry. In order to feed our stomach, we are running. But end of the day, what we are doing is we are forgetting that particular cause and we just keep running. Running and running and running, and we end up in a rat race. If you imagine this situation, in the first 2 lines of this verse, Nambi Aarorar says, whatever we are doing to earn money and we have a feeling that we are going to live like this forever is all false. This is not going to be the reality. This is not going to be the truth. So, please come back to the reality. Honestly, if you look at it, we are almost in an illusion. Something like a matrix. If you look at the Matrix movie, that's exactly what we are in. We are totally in a diluted delusion kind of a stage. How are we going to come out of it? That is what the 3rd and the 4th line in this verse talks about. He says, you have to do one thing. Again, he's giving an advice as a self-advice for the heart or for the mind. And here we need to imagine that, or we have to visualize that we are the mind and we are listening from, this is as an upadesh from Nambi Aarorar for us. So he says, you know what, get away from all these kind of illusion. Instead, you need to retract and go again into the real reason for your birth. What is the real reason for birth? It is to get self-realized. How do we get that? That is where we need to understand the concept of surrendering. Surrendering ourselves to whom is another question. And he says, if you look at it, Lord Shiva has, he's one of the person who is actually performing the cosmic dance. We all know that, the cosmic dancer. Surrender yourself to the cosmic dancer. Surrender yourself to the one who is so powerful in this world, beyond this world as well. And that is what verse, the 5th verse is all about. It's a beautiful verse. As I said, it's all about what is, as of today, it is, because if you look at atheism, they say there is nothing called as God. All we have is only the 5 bhutas around us, which is, whatever we are able to see, like sand or the earth, probably water, fire, air, space. All these are the reality, and there is nothing called as God. There is nothing that we are looking beyond that. So he's actually talking about forget about those concepts, surrender yourself so that you will very soon achieve the blissful state. That is what verse number 5 is all about. I'll come back again with the next verse very soon. Until then, Sivaya Nama, Tiruchitrambalam.